There is two types of language learning I want to do this year. The first is improving the languages I already know. And second is to learn some languages that I've been trying to learn for a few years, but set concrete goals and hopefully actually make progress this year. So, first, the languages I already know to some degree, but I want to improve. In this, the first language is Punjabi. Punjabi is my mother tongue. It's what I grew up speaking and hearing at home, but I have never actually learned the language. I've tried to learn the Gurmukhi alphabet a few times, but I'm never consistent enough to really internalize the writing structure. So this year, I really want to learn the alphabet and be able to read and write in Punjabi. So that would be my first goal. Secondly, I would like to be able to do the same in Hindi. Hindi is a language I've learned entirely through Bollywood movies. My understanding is pretty decent. My speaking is questionable. When I speak, I really need to concentrate that I am speaking either Punjabi or Hindi. But it's a language I've spoken maybe 5 to 10 times in my life, and it's pretty decent for someone who doesn't know how the language properly is constructed. It's not a language I've used much, so I would just like to see the degree to which I can improve it this year. And also learn to read and write its alphabet. Third goal, I would like to learn how to improve my writing in Dutch. It's the language I grew up with, and I've been living in the Netherlands the past 8 years. So it's likely that I'll try to find work, at least the beginning of my career, in the Netherlands as well. So I would like to improve my writing in Dutch. The last time I properly wrote a long piece of text was probably high school, and I would just like to make sure that that is more on point this year. I plan to do that by writing more, maybe taking a course online that will force me to read and write more. Something else I would like to do is read more Dutch books just to be more comfortable with the language, because my studies are entirely in English. I have a lot of international friends. All of the media I consume is in English. Dutch tends to fall a bit to the wayside, and it feels like such a shame. So I would really like to improve that this year and just be more in touch with the language. Now, languages that I am still somewhere in the beginning phase of learning, but they're quite different from each other, and I have different experiences with all of them. So I'm curious to see how far I'm able to get this upcoming year. Firstly, I am currently learning German. I took an intensive A11 course back in September, and since then I've been taking a semester course in A12 German and A21 German. It's a language that initially I didn't really have that much intrinsic motivation to learn. It's quite similar to Dutch, and I wasn't entirely sure what it would add for me. But since I am doing an exchange in Austria right now, and I've already started learning the language, I've gotten more of an interest in learning it and understanding it, and I would like to continue learning it throughout the year. Because it's a language that I've only recently gotten an interest in learning, I want to continue taking courses in it the upcoming year and see how far I get. I think I can get myself to a B1 to B2 level, but that is to be determined. Second language that I have tried to learn many times, but I've never quite been consistent enough with, is Mandarin Chinese. Every time I start, the characters intimidate me enough to not be consistent enough with my studies to get to a point where the characters will no longer be that intimidating. So this year, my goal is to learn 600 Mandarin Chinese characters. And I'm talking here simplified Chinese, not traditional Chinese characters. I bought a yo-yo Chinese course at some point back during when lockdowns were happening. So I think that is what I would like to get through this year. It's a 6-month course, if I'm not mistaken. So if I have an entire year to get through it, hopefully I actually will get through it now that I've added this form of social accountability to myself. The third language I would like to learn this year is Korean. It is a language that I have been trying to learn on and off for a few years now. I started watching K-dramas when I was, I think, 12. So I've been getting a lot of input in the language for over 10 years. I definitely think my understanding is much better than any of my other skills in the language. So this year, I want to get through as many of the talk to me in Korean levels as possible. I think the levels are still freely available online, but I also got the yearly subscription half off. So I just want to see how far I'm also able to get with these levels because I'm making that my concrete action to see how successful I am with learning Korean. So yeah, these were the 6 languages that I would like to improve / learn this year. What about you? Do you have any language goals? Thank you for watching.